everyone, and welcome to my 30,000 plus subscriber Q&A. Can you believe it? That is crazy. If I honestly, when I started this channel a year ago, never thought it would quite be this big. So thank you to everyone who's made all this possible. If you're wondering where I am currently, just swing it around. I'm in a compartment on an IC train from Amsterdam to Berlin. And I thought, as I have the compartment to myself for now, I will do the Q&A somewhere a little more interesting than just doing it in my bedroom. So, without further ado, and I'm just going to start by saying, if I pronounce your name wrong, I'm sorry, okay? This is the second attempt I've had at this, and the first time I didn't do a good job of pronouncing people's names, so let's hope we don't have any issues in this one. So without further ado, I've got the questions on my phone, and I'll just read them out and give you a shout out if you've asked a question. Let's see, so the Moose on Mars asks, could you do advice for new travel channels? I think the best bit of advice is make content you'd want to watch and then keep making it, even when at first no one watches. So when I first started uploading videos, you know, I'd be lucky if I got 100 views on my video in a week, so, you know, just don't be put off by numbers as well. Keep making content and make content only you'd want to watch. I always sit and watch all my videos several times before they get published, so yeah, I think that's the best bit of advice I can give you. And also, just don't wait around for like the perfect time, you know. If you've only got a limited budget, do it with the budget you've got, and if you've not got the best camera, that doesn't matter, you can make the most out of it. You don't need everything to be big and flashy to do it. You can do it on a relatively small budget if you put your mind to it and if you do some real planning. So thank you for your question there. Les Trumpeter asks, what do you do between videos? Do you check out the local sites, check in and chill, or pretty much just head onwards to another destination? So it's split really. Sometimes I stay in a place for a few days, or 2 days or something. 2 days is usually my number I aim for if I'm going to stay somewhere, but quite often we're filming these videos, especially now as I'm just started to do it as my full-time job. I'm really trying to cram in the amount of stuff I've filmed, especially in case there's a, you know, if over the winter travel becomes not possible again throughout Europe. That's obviously something I hope doesn't happen, but something I've got to factor in for. So yes, thank you for your question, that was a good question. Brian Cuxon asks, do you ever get lonely or homesick on your travels? Not really, but I guess I'm so occupied I don't really have time to think about that, about how far away I am from home. So yeah, I'm always on a train or doing something if I'm in a city, so there's never really time just to sit and think about it. But no, I quite enjoy my own company, so I'm usually quite happy. Thank you for your question. Next question. Danielle Mook asks, first off, congratulations, thank you. And second, will you be doing any longer sleeper train journeys? Yes, I have filmed two, three since post-lockdown. So the first one I did, I took the Caledonian sleeper again just to see what it was like. So I'll maybe release that one further down the line, but that'll be a little while. So but the two main ones I've got done is the Milan to Palermo sleeper, the one that goes on the boat in Italy, and finally after cancelling in March I managed to do night jet, just 2 nights back. So yes, more sleeper trains are coming. Daniel's UK Transport Videography asks, can I ask, was there certain people that were your inspiration into doing trip reporting, and do your family support you doing this as a full-time career? So to answer your first part of your question, I used to watch, when I was a bit younger, I used to watch, I still do watch them now, but I think the first people I watched with trip reporting was Simply Aviation, Paul Lucas and Noel Phillips. They were the ones I mainly watched. So yes, I guess you could say they were my inspiration into doing this sort of thing. I used to spend countless hours watching them on an evening back when I was in school and wasn't travelling so much. Yeah, it's sad when I'm travelling actually. I don't get to watch so much YouTube anymore because I'm always so busy. Hey, nicer problems to have. second part of your question, do your family support you doing this as a full-time career? Yes, they do, and I'm very grateful for that. They are quite happy for me to be doing this, so yes. Thank you for your question, Daniel. Next question, Tim Bird asks, what type of accommodation do you stay in? Something as cheap as possible, basically. If I can get a private room, great. If not, like last night I stayed in a hostel, whatever. A bed's a bed. I'm not usually there. You know, it's not as if I spend lots of time in my accommodation. I'm either moving on somewhere else the next day or going out sightseeing. So yes, cheap as possible is ideal. Thank you for that question. Martin Prajtulski, I'm really sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. You ask, what is your favourite journey so far? That's a tricky one. I've liked a lot of journeys. So I recently did the TGV from Milan to Paris. That was quite a nice one. The Coast Starlight, that was another good one, and the Southwest Chief. They were, I think, my two favourites in America. Really, I can't just put it down to one. I think if I had to choose from three, they would be the three I'd probably choose as being my favourites. And obviously, of course, I enjoyed my little trip on the Shinkansen back in January as well. That was really amazing to get to experience that. Thank you for that question. Jack Productions asks, favourite film to edit, least favourite video to film and edit, and least favourite train, excluding the 142.
Het station is Amersfoort, uitstappen rij richting links.
Okay, so Jack Productions asks, before I was interrupted by the tannoy, favourite video to film and edit, least favourite video to film and edit, and least favourite train excluding the 142, 143 and 144. So, favourite films, things to film and edit, I'm just going to generalise sleeper trains or anything I have a private compartment in like this at the moment. So much easier, you don't get funny looks, you know, you're not being stopped and asked questions. Least favourite to film and edit, I don't know if I have a least favourite to film. I'm trying to think back if there's any time I got in. Maybe the Greater Anglia one that I did from, you've not seen it yet probably, I've seen the one I did. The new Flirts, I went on the Flirts, I was stopped by the police there, so if I ever stop by someone it puts me off a bit, so yeah, anytime I've been stopped, really, that was to film, and then obviously editing, if my footage is a bit shaky, it's not great to edit. Least favourite train, well, I actually don't hate the Pacers, so it would have to be either a Turbo Star or a Voyager. Turbo Star's used on long distance routes, that is, they're alright for shorter distance, but yeah. Okay, so the next question comes from Samuel Taylor Ackroyd. Do you think you'll ever make hotel reviews since you make videos about travel? Maybe, but it would need to be something pretty special, so something like a repurposed railway carriage or boat or something, not just your bog standard hotel. Okay, so the next question comes from Vigi Vargas. Again, apologies if I pronounce your name wrong. Have you ever been to India, and do you plan to do a train ride in India? At the moment, well, no, I've not been to India. I can't really make any plans for India at the moment as well with travel restrictions, so I'm basically limited to Europe at the moment, which is a shame because I had hoped to go back to America as well this year and film some more stuff, which is most definitely not going to be happening now, so yeah. Hopefully in the future I'll go to India and do some trip reports, but I can't see it happening in the next year. Next question. Out of all the train companies you travelled with, which one was your favourite in the UK and outside the UK? So in the UK, that's easy, that's got to be LNER. They always provide the best service, and they generally speaking run fairly close to on time, so yeah. And also out of the first class ones, they definitely do have the best complimentary meal offer. You get all the alcohol included, and the meals are, you know, it's not much better than a Vantis, but it is, I think it is the best. Outside the UK, God, I've travelled with some pretty nice company. So Deutsche Bahn, who I'm on their train at the moment, and they're pretty good. Obviously the JR, I think it's Japanese Railways it stands for, correct me if I'm wrong. They're an amazing company. The way they run their trains, I have no idea how they do it all the time, on time. it's pretty crazy. And you know what? I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this, but Amtrak are pretty good. I know their trains don't run on time, but you get good service. I mean, how often do you get a proper good sit-down restaurant on a train with, you know, a good steak or something? And, you know, the sleeping car attendants are always really good, and yeah, and even on the regional trains, the service seems to be pretty good. So yeah, I think they're my favourite companies. Again, I can't just narrow it down to one, it's too hard. Next question, Samuel Kens asks, what was the most scenic journey you've been on in England, Scotland and Wales? So I've not really been to Wales, so I can't really say that. I think I went from somewhere near Liverpool to Wrexham once. That's the only journey I've ever done in Wales. England, anything that goes along the Dawlish Seawall's pretty nice. I've done a few trip reports going along there. It's a really nice stretch of railway. I always think that's one of the most scenic couple of miles of railway in the country. Scotland, Far North Line's pretty nice. I think it's the Highland Main Line. I've not done the West Highland Line yet. I'd still like to do that. And the Inverness to Carlow Lockhouse line's supposed to be really nice. Again, never done it. Maybe I will do, but yeah, they are. I'd say in England, anything along Dawlish Seawall, and in Scotland, it'd be either the Far North or Highland Main Line are the most scenic. Thank you for your question. QMS34 asks, do you plan on revisiting Asia and trying our trains in other countries as well? Maybe you could try other parts of Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia. Yes, I do really want to revisit Asia again, Far East Asia. I think I'd like to do a longer journey on the Shinkansen, maybe in first class. It is quite expensive, but I think that would be nice. Also, there's a sleeper train in Japan I want to do. That's quite difficult to book when you're not in Japan, so I'm not sure how I'd go about that. But I'd obviously do research near the time. And yeah, I'd like to go to some other countries as well. It'd be nice to get to see some more of Asia by rail. It's stuff I've looked into, but again, at the moment, can't really do much about that. So thank you for your question. Max Stern asks, has anyone ever given you a weird look when you push down on the seat to do a seat firmness test? I'm sure they have. I don't really pay much attention to what other people are doing when I'm filming, especially seat tours. Sometimes when I go look back on the camera, I see someone giving me a funny look, and I think, yeah, I'm not really fussed by it, unless it's like I say, when I got stopped by the police for filming, that was a bit like, but yeah, I don't get that much bother for filming. Where's the other place? Milano Malpensa Airport, I think it's called. I've probably just butchered that pronunciation. You'll see when I do the Ryanair review, I got shouted at there. It was in the jet bridge. This guy just started going off on me. It wasn't like a security guy, just like a baggage handler or something. So yeah, I don't think he was too happy. Thank you for your question. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. Sorry if I wasn't able to read your question on this occasion, as I did get quite a lot. But like I say, if these are popular, I'll continue to do them, and hopefully next time I'll get to do your question. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and once again, thank you so much for the support on the channel. It has really been amazing, and I'm very proud and humbled to be able to say this is now my full-time job. So thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you for the next video.